Hi everybody, welcome to Craigmillar Castle in Edinburgh. So, Craigmillar Castle was built by the Preston family, and the tower house that you can just see popping up at the back there of this curtain wall was completed by 1425. The courtyard wall was added by Sir William Preston by 1453. He had travelled around France and also brought back the arm of St Giles, which he presented to the High Kirk in Edinburgh. In 1479, John Stuart, Earl of Mar, who was brother of King James III, was held prisoner at Craigmillar, accused of practising witchcraft against the king. He later died in suspicious circumstances. In 1511, Craigmillar was made a barony, and the outer courtyard was built around this time. In September 1517, during a plague outbreak in Edinburgh, the infant James V moved to the safety of Craigmillar Castle, where a stable was then built to house his royal mule. The family chapel, which is located in the outer court, was first recorded in 1523. Well, this is the basement of the tower, the main tower house. So this would have had 2 floors in it. You can probably just make out where the wooden joists went on the floor. I don't know if you can make that out or not just there. There's a little square notch there for the second floor. This would have held the food, vegetables, fruits. A lot of rent from the local land was paid by the way of vegetables, fruit, grain, that sort of thing. And this is where it would have been stored, probably the coldest part of the castle. So it would have been like a fridge. So we're just going to exit out of the basement of the tower house, and we're going to pop into a building that's next door on the same level, and this would have been used for bed chambers. Now you've got a chamber here, nice large fireplace to try and heat the place up. And then we come to the south tower, where if we go down, it should lead us, oh, it's not, it's blocked off, but that would lead us to another gate to exit the castle here as well. So, as you can see, we've come to the upper level of the vault, or the basement, so there would have been another floor here. Originally this would have been a window, but it was made into a door around about the 16th century. This, however, remained a window. So now we're coming above the first floor of the extension to the tower. There's the tower there. And again, this would have been further chambers up here as well. We've got one there, and we've got the other one here, which has been blocked off, obviously for safety reasons. You can see the chamber down there, and you can see the fireplace of the first floor here. Again, another extension to the chamber down below. So this would be in the kitchen, guys. And you can see the huge fireplace there. And this could have been the slop hole just down here. We would have chucked our slop out of that hole and into the courtyard. That you can see out this window. And again, that takes us back down to basement level, just down the stairs there. Let's head further up. Let's go this way, let's see what we've got here. So here we have the third floor. You see the fireplace just sitting there. Doorway in from the tower house. And you make out the sort of lines of the roof there. And you have the tower house that fires up that way. Again, this would be in a bed chamber. And there would have been a water closet, possibly in one of the corners here as well. So this is called the gallery, this part. And you can see the extent of the grounds. Just down there. So these would have been popular in the Renaissance times, where the lords and ladies would come up and sort of pace up and down gently, having a chat, listening to a bit of music. And then we have a walkway up to the actual wall battlement. So we can walk right around parts of this. So down there we have a chapel. So this was built a little bit later on, the chapel. And was finished in 1523, the chapel. So this would have been the private family chapel. You can see the battlements run right along the front of the building here. You've got the tower house and its extension, and further buildings adjoining that we've just been walking through. So during the rough wooing of Henry VIII, the English attempted to impose, by military force I may add, a marriage between Edward, the Prince of Wales, and the young Mary, Queen of Scots. Unfortunately, we can't go any further than this. They've blocked it off for safety purposes. But you can see the other outer buildings that were built after the main tower itself here. It's actually quite a complete castle, this one. So after the attempted imposition of marriage, Craigmillar Castle was burned by the English troops under the Earl of Hertford on the 8th of May 1544, after he had already sacked Edinburgh. So after the castle was burned down, Sir Simon Preston repaired the castle, and the domestic ranges that we see down here, and obviously the other side that we just seen at the other side of the tower there, those were remodelled and modernised. You can see the tower up here, and you can see the defensive holes that they have round about so that they can throw oil and things onto any potential attackers. And the outer skirting wall here. And beautiful view over to Arthur's Seat. And hopefully once we go up to the top of the tower itself, we will see some of Edinburgh city itself. So let's go and check it out, guys. So we've just come back through the gallery and the bedchambers, and we're going to enter into the tower house once again, and into the Great Hall. Look at that fireplace. Stunning, isn't it? It's seating around the windows. And again, there would have been another floor up here. You can see where the wooden beams would have been held up by the pieces of stone that are sticking out the wall. So Mary Queen of Scots actually stayed at Craigmillar Castle here twice. Firstly, in September 1563, she met the English ambassador, Thomas Randolph, here at the castle. And she also stayed on the 20th of November to the 7th of December in 1566. In October, she was in pretty serious ill health. And it has been suggested that Philibert du Croc said that she was suffering from depression. We'll continue up from the Great Hall. Unfortunately, we can't get access there, so we'll keep going up here. So just being above the Great Hall, this probably would have been one of the finest bedrooms in the castle. So on her second stay here, Mary Queen of Scots had several noblemen that were with her, and suggested that her unpopular husband Henry should be removed, either by force or divorce. So this is where an agreement called the Craigmillar Bond was signed by Mary's Secretary of State, William Maitland, and several nobles, including the Earls of Bothwell, Argyll, and Huntly. Unfortunately, the document didn't survive. But what it did do was set out the conspirators' intent to remove Mary's husband Henry. Henry was killed in 1567 after opting to stay at Kirkerfield upon his return to Edinburgh. So we've come out of the bedchamber and we've reached the top of the tower. And just look at the view of Edinburgh. Stunning. So Craigmillar Castle here has a kind of deep-rooted history with witchcraft. And Mr. John Preston of Halltree, he was a commissioner during several witch trials here between 1661 and 1662. In 1883, a skeleton was found walled up in one of the castle vaults. However, no one knows if the individual was alive or dead when he was walled up. And Craigmillar Castle has been in a few feature films, such as The Outlaw King, and was the setting for Ardsmuir Prison in the series Outlander. So I hope you enjoyed your little historical tour around Craigmillar Castle, and I just thank you all for watching.